Welcome back to John and April's Kitchen Table. Here we are. I wanted to talk about the NBA playoffs. April and I are huge NBA fans, and we're right in the middle of the NBA playoffs. And a couple of nights ago, there was an epic game with an epic finish between the Raptors and the Sixers.
Yeah.
Your boy Kawhi Leonard made a huge shot from the corner, and it stayed on the rim like 5 minutes. Finally went down. Now, the big thing about the story was not the fact that they won the game, in my opinion, at least not for this show. The big thing was what happened after that. So first of all, it was Joel Embiid, the 7 foot, 260-pound center for the Sixers, who was out there guarding Kawhi Leonard when Kawhi hit that shot. And the moment the ball went through the rim, Kawhi had this look of adulation on his face, and of course, Embiid had a look of dejection. And then memes started flying all over the place because this guy was crying. Now, of course, not only did he cry, but after the game was over, he had this other thing with his girlfriend was wiping his tears and all this stuff and whatever. So it was hilarious. People were going crazy on this dude. So here's what I want to know. Do you care that a man who is 7 feet, 260 pounds, is crying? Does it make him look like a baby? Does it make him look like a girl? I mean, is he a wuss? You know, is he still a man? How do you feel about that?
It's a tough one because, you know, it's like, dude, you crying over a basketball game?
Right.
But it's deeper than that.
Right.
You know, you had to fight your way to get there and all that kind of stuff. So I know
it was a game 7.
It was a game 7.
This is the farthest they've ever been in the playoffs.
I get it.
There's a lot of emotion.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's
Does that
not
make sense?
just the games that I see the kids playing out on the playground.
You're 6th graders.
Right. So I have to move from that and say, I understand that it's emotional.
I want to know just from a woman, because here's the thing. As soon as it happened, Kenny and Charles were talking about it.
Right.
And Charles Barkley said, we've all been there.
Yeah.
He said, we've all had those tough games where we cried afterwards and feeling that way. But I'm saying, how do women look at that? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I actually don't see it as you're a wuss.
Okay.
It's the way you do it.
Okay. If it's like Denzel in Glory where he's getting whipped and one little tear comes down, then that's fine?
That's fine.
Okay.
You know? The body position.
Oh, okay.
You know, you bend over and you all, you know, I don't know, going down in your girl's arms and she's kind of babying you.
Right.
I mean, it's fine. I get it.
Right.
But I wondered, you know, did he have to do that in front of all the cameras? It was either he wanted us to see that,
right,
or it was just such an emotional time. He didn't care where he was. He needed her to comfort him at that time.
I feel like unless they have some rule about girlfriends going to the locker room, he could have done that in private. Very easily.
That's what I was thinking, like, did you really have to do that with all them cameras looking at you?
Right.
So was it for the cameras? Or was it really... I mean, and I know he probably was emotional and was wanting to cry. I mean, we've all been in where we lose and you cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get that if you've played sports. I get it.
Yes.
But I just feel like the way it was kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to see a big guy do that.
Okay,
it is.
That's what I want to hear you say.
I'm not saying
it's hard for you to see a big guy do that.
Yes, and I'm not saying you're a wuss.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
But the way it was done, he didn't cry like a man. He kind of cried like he was back in his, you know, as a, you know, 4th grader.
So I was talking to my man, our friend, who has a radio show, a sports radio show, and he was saying that he feels like if Steph Curry did that, or if some other short point guard did that, it wouldn't be a problem. He said the fact that he says it's not a good look.
I know.
Because Holmes is 7 feet.
And he had to bend so far down to get her to caress his cheeks. I was like, ooh.
Now I will say this: a lot of people don't mind. A lot of people do not mind making fun of Embiid because Embiid is sort of known for being a show-off.
Right.
So when things are going well, you know, he's making shots, he's dapping up cheerleaders, and he's doing the Superman and all that kind of stuff. You know. So he's kind of a ham already.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like this goes with his MO. The fact that he would do this in front of everybody, whatever. I don't know. But do you feel sorry for him?
No.
Okay.
I don't. But you know, but I'm not like such a fan that I'm like,
poor baby.
You know, like I am a fan. Some, you know, NBA players, I'm like hurt.
Right.
But I like him, but it's not like that for me.
Yes.
So you can't really ask me that. Now, we can move this to men crying.
Okay.
I feel that men should be allowed to cry.
Okay. In what situations? Like a funeral?
Right.
Is that it?
Well, I mean, I guess if I saw you crying during an episode of This Is Us, I'd be like...
That would be a problem.
why are you crying? You know. So I guess it does. I guess men can only cry in certain situations. Not that they, but I mean, for women, I guess it is like that. I don't know. I mean, you guys can comment and let me know if you agree.
That's what I want to know.
I don't think it's a bad. I think it's only a bad look if it's the way you cry.
Right.
I guess no, but seriously, like I get really irritated when Dwight Howard pouts because something didn't go his way. It's really hard for me because I just feel like you too big.
Right.
You are too big to be pouting like that.
Dwight is a pouter.
And I like Dwight.
Yeah.
You know, but he's just, I mean, he's like,
right.
I mean, you know, you can't do that when you're 7 feet. You cannot do that.
So your verdict is men can cry, but they just have to look a certain way when they do it.
You gotta cry like a man. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
You know, you can't cry like a baby, and you can't cry like a girl.
Right. I want to know if you agree. If you agree, put your stuff in the comments. I want to hear from men on this too. Men, do you think it's okay for men to cry? And if men cry, in what situations? Is a man able to cry at his wedding?
Of course.
All right. And then he cried at a funeral.
But again, yes, and you can cry any kind of way at a funeral.
Okay.
But at a wedding, you still, you know, you at your wedding, you can't be boo-hooing. And I mean, belly you.
We can't belly you.
You can't belly you at your wedding.
Okay.
No.
I got it.
No.
Right. Well, we'll see what you have to say.
Yeah, so somebody said Embiid was crying because his girl told him Chick-fil-A was closed on Sunday. I thought that was hilarious because that is so a reason to cry. Do you know how many Sundays we are driving on the road and I'll be like, ooh, let's go to Chick-fil-A. And then I'm like, oh, it's closed. I mean, that hurts.
So a man can cry at his wedding, his funeral, and if Chick-fil-A is closed.
Exactly.
That's it. All right, y'all.
All right.
See y'all next time.
Bye.